Rise and grind, the cigar that I'm smoking religiously. Let's have this conversation. And so as you can see, I am in the man cave. And so the man cave, its hours of operations are from November to about March. And so usually you see me outside smoking. I got a little outside deck set up. And truth be told is, yes, I live in Southern California. And so I don't have some of the weather issues that some of my friends across the nation have. But on a day like today, it's about 50 degrees outside. So even here in sunny California, it's 50 degrees outside on this night. And as a result, the lounge is open. And so without further ado, I always like to cut to the chase. The cigar that I'm smoking, the cigar that I've been smoking religiously, it comes from a company called Apostate Cigars. And this is their Initiatory. And so this is a cigar that I've stumbled onto. Absolutely fell in love with this cigar. And we'll have some conversation concerning it. And as I enjoy this cigar, I'm going to be pairing this with some bourbon. This is Ben Holiday. And so this is a bottle and bond, comes from out of Missouri. And so really love this. In fact, you can see how much I love this. Opened up this bottle about a week ago. Now I did have some friends come over, had a little dinner party, and this bottle was a complete success. And so really enjoying this from out of Missouri, Ben Holiday. This is their bottle and bond. And so yes, I'm enjoying this. I've been smoking these religiously. And so I'll tell you about the cigar and tell you about my thoughts on this evening. And so this company is called Apostate Cigars. And so saw an interview. That's usually where I get my information from, or I might read a journal. And so I saw the owners of this company. Here's their background, and you'll see how it relates to mine and to the topic of today's conversation. These two guys, maybe they were friends. They were religious, and so they were, I believe, part of the Mormon group. So they were some religious guys out of Utah, and so I suspect they were Mormons. And they separated from their denomination, and so that's where the term apostate comes from, which means it's a religious term meaning that you've been separated from the group. And so this was their first cigar, so they call this the Initiatory, the initial cigar. And so I smoked one of these, and this is one of those cases where I smoked one, ordered a box right away. And so in fact, I ordered a pack of 12 of these, and I might load up and order another pack before the word gets out. And so as I mentioned, the guys who started this company, I imagine they were religious, they were Mormons. The fact that they named the company Apostate suggests that they got some deep religious beliefs. Many of you know I am a pastor. And so some of you are shocked to learn that. How can you be a pastor and smoking cigars and drinking whiskey? And so we'll have some of that conversation tonight. And I remember one of the things I said to God as I'm having this conversation or this prayer. I remember saying, God, I'm not like them. I'm not like the priests. I'm not like the pastors. I'm not like the preachers. I'm not like those guys. Those guys got it all figured out. Those guys can do this. You want those guys. Me, I'm just different, God. You don't want me. So call one of them. And I believe in that moment, God, as he spoke to me, said, no. He says, I know you're different. I know who you are. And that's why I'm calling you. Because I want this thing done in a different way. I want it done in your unique way, your unique experience, your unique history, with your military experience and your corporate experience and just your sound integrity and ethics and work ethics. I want this done in a different way. And so that began my time in ministry. Went off to seminary, did that for about 5 years, so I got a master's in that. And then I began just pastoring churches. And I do it in my own unique way. And so some would say, how do you smoke and drink and how you seem like a regular guy? Yeah, I am. I'm still me. But I'm still answering the calling on my life. I'm still fulfilling the assignment of my life. I'm still aligned to what it is that I've been called to do. And so the message for you, anyone listening, be you. The world needs you uniquely who you are, just as you are. Don't try to fit into a mold. Don't try to be someone else. Be you. Be your genuine self. Because even for a guy like me, as I mentioned, every space I go into, whether it's corporate America, whether I'm in the church, whether I'm on YouTube, I'm going to be genuinely me. And that's what the world wants. The world wants us to come awake. That's what Howard Thurman said. The world wants people who can come awake and be themselves. Because when you're yourself, then you're operating with passion and your own unique giftedness. And so that's the story of my calling, of my religion, of my religious work. So when I say I smoke this cigar religiously, one of the things I want to also touch on is you don't create a cigar company like Apostate. Now, I don't know much about the company, but you don't create a cigar company and somehow me in California, I've got your cigars and I'm loving your cigars and I'm talking about your cigars. You don't achieve success. Your company doesn't work out. Your cigar company or your whiskey company or your YouTube channel, these things don't work out just by themselves. You got to be religious about what you're doing. You got to be dogmatic. Success isn't going to just stumble in your lap. You're not going to have this idea to start a cigar company and then it just takes off and you're doing well and your cigars are being distributed all over the nation. You're not gonna just one day say, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. And then all of a sudden the channel's doing well. You've got to be religious about the stuff you're trying to do. You've got to be willing to put in not just hours, but years into a thing. And so if you're watching this and maybe your dream is to be a YouTuber, if this isn't something that you would say, hey, I'm religious about this thing. I'm doing this for hours every day, every week, every month, every year. I'm willing to put the time in. If you don't have that kind of passion, if you can't say, hey, I'm doing this thing religiously. And so that's why I wanted to really use that word. If you're not willing to say, hey, I'm committed to this thing. And so maybe your goal is physical fitness. If you're not up at 5 a.m, if you're not dogmatic about that thing, if you're trying to maybe finish your education, get a better job, you've got to be absolutely locked in. And one of the things I notice is people kind of want it. Someone asked me the other day, they said, how do I have a successful YouTube channel? And I said, can you put out 100 videos and nobody watches them and you're still ready to rise and grind and keep making content and keep putting out content? And they said 100 videos. I said, yeah, 100, maybe 200. Are you ready to do it and nobody watches them? Can you lock in like that? And this person said, I don't know. I said, then you may not want this. And that's how you got to be about in life. When you look at great men, great women, no one is stumbling into success. No one is breaking world records or playing professional sports No one is changing the world casually. No one's just stumbling into this stuff. No one is starting a cigar company and maybe working it on the weekends. No. I know nothing about the owners of this company, but I can guarantee you that they are working more than 40 hours a week. And one of the problems that I see is a lot of people, they thought it was going to be easy. They thought that, okay, maybe I'll upload about 50 videos and see if it takes off. You got to be religious about this thing. You're not going to drop them pounds casually. Just because you went to Subway on Wednesday, that's not going to get you in shape. You got to be religious about this. Folks got to look at you and say, wow, again? You're going to the gym again? Another salad? Really? You're working out twice a day now? People got to look at you like you're crazy. And let them look at you like that. That's how they looked at me my whole life. People said, you're getting another degree? You're going back to school? You're starting this? You're doing that? You're buying another house? If people aren't looking at you like you're some kind of religious fanatic, then you may not be on the way to success. Because you got to be religious about this thing. Now, yeah, sure, people like to say balance, work-life balance, and all right. You got to be able to lock in. And this goes for anything you're trying to do. Again, whether it's a physical fitness thing, whether it's a career thing, whether it's trying to make your marriage work. I've been married for 18 years. That doesn't just happen casually. You don't just stumble into that. You got to look at this thing like this is it. We locked in. We doing this. And if you're kind of wishy-washy, kind of like, all right, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works out. You might as well stop right now. And so when I look at companies, that's why I love mentioning these different companies, because I know the work that it took. Whenever I see a successful man or a successful woman, I know the sacrifice they had to put in. I know the blood, sweat, and tears they had to put in. I know the sleepless nights they had to put in. Anytime I see a successful person, if I look at a YouTuber and they've got 1 million subscribers, I look at them and I think, wow, imagine what they had to do. Imagine the sacrifice. Imagine the work they had to put in. When I look at LeBron James, I'm thinking, wow, imagine his diet. Imagine his workout regimen. You got to be religious about this thing if you want to make it. And so as I enjoy the cigars, I say, I'm smoking this cigar religiously. Because every time I smoke it, yeah, it tastes great. It's got this woodsy sweetness to it. I just love it. It's just so well constructed. Just a great cigar. Again, that Ecuadorian Sumatra, that Dominican Republic tobacco, just a great cigar. And the fact that it's put out, I guess you can call it a craft company. A couple of guys in Utah put together a company. And so I love to support that. And so it's a good cigar, but when I smoke it, there's gonna be these extra meanings behind it, because these are the different things I'm thinking about. And so sometimes a cigar is more than just a cigar. It's more than just rolled tobacco. Sometimes it's about what does it mean to you. And so I've shared with you all the Tabernacle. Why does that cigar mean so much to me? Because of all the religious implications about it. The fact that it's got this guy who's supposed to be an heir of King Solomon. And so when I smoke that cigar, the Tabernacle, that's a religious term. And so these are all these things coming into my mind when I smoke it. And so that's what I love about this beauty about cigars. It's more than just rolled up, dried leaves. It can speak to cultures. It can speak to religion. It can speak to philosophies. Yeah, these cigars, they tell a story. So we are in the lounge. Winter is upon us. And so I thank you for taking the time. I thank you for how you supported this channel. I get it. I'm going to be me, uniquely me. And I'm going to bring content in a very unique way based on my own unique experiences, based on what I think I've been called to do. When I started the channel, I said, I'm not going to be like everyone else. Everyone else is taken. I'm going to be me. Do stuff in my own fanatic way. And so many of you, you've been rocking with me, and I thank you. I'm filled with gratitude. I'm very thankful for the journey. I'm thankful for this platform. And so yes, I'm a pastor, so I stand in a pulpit every Sunday, but I see this as another platform. This is another space where I can just still be authentically me and speak, share. And so I always like to say, all right, well, okay, what'd you come here for? Cigars? Okay, sure. Apostate, they've got some cigars. It's pretty good. They got some rolled dry tobacco. That's good. Ben Holiday, they've got some grains that they've liquefied that tastes pretty good. And so there's your product review. But if I can help you and be of impact in your life, is to say, hey, if you want to make it, you want to succeed, you got to lock in and you got to be religious about whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And so hopefully we've inspired you. If we have, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, join this community, because we are we fanatics? we're people who are rising and grinding, simply trying to get it done. That's who we are. If you want to join such a community, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what are your thoughts on what we have shared with you tonight. Like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, rise and grind.